The Horror Returns. Welcome back, one and all, to The Horror Returns. I'm Lance, and with me, as always, my co-hosts Philip and Brian.
So good we do it twice.
Yeah, just for luck.
Yeah.
Speaking of luck, man, it's our good luck charm tonight. Sean Henry.
Hey, what's up?
Our one of our fan favorites. Every time you come on, dude, we get a lot of good comments. So thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Yeah, normally you'll do like a when you come on, we'll watch a movie together, but this time we're reviewing a few Brandon Cronenberg. I understand maybe you might not have seen one of them.
Correct. I was not able to make it to the theater in time, partially because I didn't realize it was only in theaters. That was my fuck up.
Well, we had plenty of that last week, so I wouldn't worry about it. You guys, Brian and Phil, you guys get a chance to check them both out?
I barely got a chance to see this one, so
yeah. I watched them. I watched a janky copy of the new one, but I watched it.
Okay.
Nice.
Well, at least you saw it.
This was a bad month to try to make it to theaters,
Right?
But next month's going to be a busy month for my family. You know, we got was Knock at the Cabin,
Yeah.
Cocaine Bear.
Yes, Cocaine Bear, Knoxville, Tennessee. Oh yeah.
The whole family's going to watch Ant-Man, so
is that next month?
Yeah, I'm gonna be busy.
Holy shit, right around the corner.
You know, I'm not like unexcited for that one. That's not a word, but you know,
Ant-Man,
right?
Yeah, like that's the first Marvel movie that's come out in a while where I'm like, hey, I kind of want to see that.
And Steve recommends we go see it green.
Okay. Go see it green. You know what that means, Sean?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. We've got plenty of that around here. They pop up like there's a new dispensary every
other day, huh?
Yeah, seriously.
I thought it was when you drink so much you get green and puke.
Oh, that's St. Patrick's Day, right? All right, Sean.
That's next month after February.
Right. Sean, you know how we roll, man.
Yes.
You're our guest, so you go first. Cool of the week, brother. What's your coolest thing you've seen, or video game you've played, or book you've read, or whatever?
Definitely. Cool of the week. I was able to finally snag a PS5.
That is a very cool of the week.
Yes, it's been an amazing cool of the week. The controller on the PS5 is so badass. I've got to gush for a sec. The haptic feedback, the vibration that you can feel,
But it's got kind of the same configuration, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And when you're in a shooter game, you can feel like when you pull the trigger, you know, the feedback on like the recoil from a gun and stuff.
Oh wow,
so cool. It's badass. And my kids went away on a little school trip, and so I've had plenty of time to play on the PS5. Specifically, Returnal, which is hard as fuck. I don't know if you guys. Yeah, Returnal. Have you guys heard of it?
Okay.
No.
Okay, it's a space-based game. You land on this alien world, and you have to figure out, like, you know, where basically how to get from point A to B. And every time you die, the map basically changes and reconfigures.
Shit.
Like, you lose all your shit, and then you got to pick everything back up. And then, yeah, that's just in the first world, like the first level. And oh my God, it is kicking my ass, but it has been a lot of fun.
That sounds frustrating as fuck.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Yeah, that's crazy. I've never heard of a game like that before.
I got a customer that he's late 50s. They're retired. Their kids just went to college.
Nice.
I don't even think they're actually retired yet, but kids just went off to college, and so they bought a PS5 for themselves to play the show on HBO.
Oh,
The Last of Us.
Last of Us,
Yes.
Yeah.
So they're playing that together, and
That is cool.
they sounded super excited about it. I was like, "Where'd you get a fucking PS5, you rich shit?"
Yeah.
Lucky.
I think I had that same when we were talking before we started when I seen the guy at Best Buy walking around with a PS5. I was like, "Where did you get that?" Even though we're standing in the store.
Yeah, actually, funny enough, I had
right?
a couple of kids, like some teenagers, were like, "Holy shit, there's PS5s in this Walmart," and I was like, "Yeah, there's like 2 more in the locked case back there. If you got the You got the money? Yeah, it's back there. They're like, holy shit, holy shit.
Yeah. That's scary, man. It's like walking around with a big duffel bag with a money sign on it.
Yes, I was
no
like,
kidding.
I'm
That's
glad
exactly how the
I
guy was
carry.
carrying it.
Yeah, I'll just say that it was like, it was later at night, and I was like, am I gonna get robbed because I got this? Maybe I'm being paranoid.
I'll tell you where I got it, man. Don't get too close.
Right? You were carrying the briefcase from Pulp Fiction.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm planning on getting one. I might have to tell the Best Buy guy to like meet me outside at the truck.
Yeah, better
truck
safe
up.
than sorry,
Yeah.
right?
Fuck
Get one of those ones that hey, it fell off the truck,
Right.
So, but yeah, that would definitely be my my cool of the week.
That's a good one. I've had a lot of meh of the week, gents. It's we're not off to a rip roaring start for the year. I thought Megan was pretty good. Other than that,
yeah,
haven't seen a whole lot. I'm super impressed with. Let me go through a couple of these real quick. Sorry About the Demon, Shudder exclusive. Have you guys heard of this one?
I have not even heard of that.
I've seen it on there. I just kind of kept scrolling.
Yeah. It sounded pretty cool. It's like these people the family moves into a house, and there's a demon in there, and the demon possesses their daughter, exorcist style, and the little girl says, the only way to get rid of me is to bring in another sacrifice. So they talk this kind of schmucky guy that's his girlfriend just left him into renting the house, and I don't know, man. I thought it was a neat idea, but it was very. I mean, I see enough Hallmark Christmas movies during Christmas. It tries to be a comedy, Brian, but it's not
probably
super funny.
Why it wasn't good.
Yeah.
Not
a great
panic.
Another one not so great. Just finished this one. There's Something Wrong with the Children.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's Blumhouse, right?
Yeah.
Is that another Shudder one?
I saw it through other means, but it's I don't know, man. It another one that seemed kind of promising. Like I love evil kid movies, but there just wasn't any real wrap up to it. Like the ending of the movie was
just abrupt.
Was pretty horrible. Yeah, very abrupt. That's a good way to put it. And the third one that I saw that was very meh. Brian, you and Nez reviewed this one, and I knew better, but I had to see it. What the fuck is this Skinamarink? Come on, help me out here, guys. Anybody else seen this?
All I can say it was. I'll try to put this as nice as I can. This was a very artsy. I don't know.
Sure,
like artsy fartsy kind of.
Yeah, like
the only thing I can think of is the fucking elephant show from the 80s, Skinamarink, Dink, Skinamarink.
Right.
That's where the name. That's where the name comes from.
Is it?
Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
I hope it has something to do with it.
Like I had told Lance, I really would like to talk to the director, because I bet you if he explains the movie, we'll all probably be like, oh, okay, that makes sense. But
make more
watching
sense.
it, I was just kind of like, why is this happening?
Okay,
why are we looking at the corner of the ceiling?
Yeah, and all the Legos, and I don't know, man.
I mean, there was some cool ideas in there.
What you mean? You mean cool ideas like setting a camera on an empty bedroom with a bed in it, and leaving it there for 10 minutes with Legos
whole idea
laid out all over the floor?
The whole idea of children waking up and their parents are gone and there's no windows and doors, that would be terrifying as a child. But I just, like I said in the review,
if it were done well.
Yeah, like I said in the review, I never felt like the children were scared.
Right.
I don't know if it was the kids, the way, because they were kids, child actors or if they. Right. But then again, I don't know. Maybe he told them to play it that way because everybody was it kind of reminded me, Lance, of that one Killing of a Sacred Deer.
Oh, sure.
where everybody kind
Yeah.
of had this
Yeah.
kind of monotone.
Monotone.
Yeah.
That's right.
I
So
hated
I
that
don't.
movie.
Not a fan of that director at all, Sean.
I
Not
think
at
I
all.
started it for
No.
like 20 minutes and didn't finish. I was like,
Right.
oh no, I'm not.
But
gonna
like I said, I congratulate him on a movie that cost
Uh-huh.
$15,000 to make. It made, and plus was bootlegged. It made over $1 million
Sure.
in the theater. So
Holy
Yeah.
shit.
And
it
counting, right?
got picked up by Shudder. So
no
Yep.
publicity is bad publicity.
get your money.
No doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt.
True
All right,
that.
my cool of the week, Brian, you're gonna love this one. I rewatched it and I got a lot more out of it than the first time I saw it. Even had a little tear come to my eye when Aunt May died.
Oh,
After
one
she
lonely
said,
tear.
yes, one lonely tear after she made the Uncle Ben speech, and I was like, oh man, that kind of tugged at the heartstrings a little bit. Yes, No Way Home on
You
second
finally
watch
came around.
is
Steve,
finally came around.
come around.
I've come
What?
around.
Totally
So
redeemed
that's,
yourself.
Yep, that would be my cool of the week. But then again, when you're comparing it to Skinner or Ink, it's kind of an easy competition. But
It's hard for Marvel movies right now because it's like so saturated. It's like they have to really be above and beyond for it to
I'm very hopeful on the future movies because I think they tried this kind of whole phase of grieving and getting over what was in the past, and I hopefully we're done with all that and we're pushing towards the future. So
back to superheroes kicking ass, which is what it was supposed to be.
Yeah, back to the action.
And
even though I think in Ant-Man, I think they're gonna kill Ant-Man. I'm gonna call it now. They're gonna kill Ant-Man, and then when we get Guardians, they're gonna kill Drax and kill Rocket.
Oh no, they can't.
I agree.
Do that.
I think so as well.
No, come on, guys.
Yeah.
It's old cast and start something new.
Right.
Dave Bautista said he's tired of like doing the makeup and just that character.
Yeah.
He wants to move on. And then with just the trailer on Guardians 3, it does seem like it's going to be very somber and
yeah, and Drax he's also said not Drax, sorry, Batista.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
he said he's wanted to do more like kind of serious acting, and he's a pretty damn good actor. I would say. I'm sorry, Rock fans, but I think Batista's the best wrestler turned actor.
Yes,
he was great in Glass Onion.
Yeah, and he had
was.
such a minimal part compared to everybody.
Yeah.
John Cena, however, is pretty fucking hilarious.
That he is. Yeah,
He's got to fix that bald spot though. He wrestled a couple weeks ago, and every time he turned around, because he has that movie star like comb back, but when he turns around, it's right there.
Either that or just lean into it.
Hard to miss.
Yeah, just go full shave,
Yeah. Or he could just play old men, the old strong man. I don't know.
There you go. Stay off my lawn type shit.
Yeah.
I'll jump in next. I only got 2 things.
All right.
I did start Lost.
Yes. Really? Okay. Cool.
Yeah. I think I'm in.
Dude, that first season's pretty fucking awesome.
The first like couple episodes, I was just like, oh, it's that guy. Oh, it's that guy. Oh, it's her. Sure. I know this person. And then there was a lot of
the Wasp was in there. Speaking of Ant-Man.
Yeah, the Wasp and
well, this launched a lot.
Hugo. Hugo.
Yeah, I kind of was like looking through IMDb, then I had to stop because I kind of want to be surprised at who pops up or. And then there was just a lot of what's going on? What's wrong with this guy? And just a lot of questions, but it was piquing my interest. So I'm gonna be sticking with Lost. I'm not tapping out. So
nice.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Don't expect the questions to be answered anytime soon. Just let you know.
Go with the flow.
Lance, I also have watched a movie on Shudder, and this one it's labeled as a comedy horror, but it was more of a dramedy, and it's called Blood Relatives.
I've heard of this one. All right.
Yeah, it's about this. It's a vampire. He runs into. He gets tracked down by his daughter, his 15-year-old daughter. and basically they go on like kind of a road trip, and they're trying to, catch up. He's trying to see if he even wants to be a father. And then, he kind of lets her know that she does have vampire kind of like abilities, but she's not full vampire. So it was kind of light on the comedy and more on the whole of them trying to kind of spark up this relationship that, because he wasn't around, and then you kind of find out why he didn't really want a family, because he used to have a family, because he doesn't reveal his age, but he's like super old.
He had a family and he ate them all, or what, or drank all their blood, or what?
No, I think they had died before.
Okay.
Just like that Timothy Chalamet movie, but with vampires.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
Yeah.
I was getting those vibes from the description.
And it was real interesting with the vampire lore in it, because she was born a vampire, but she doesn't have that aging thing with like vampires.
Okay.
So she will eventually die.
Really?
That's an interesting angle.
And she has very light sensitivity to sunlight, but she can go out in the sun.
Okay.
And then they brought up the fact of in this version of vampires, the reason why they stay looking so young is because they feed off of people. You can survive off of feeding off of animals, but
yes,
you'll start to slowly by time kind of look your age.
I like that.
Okay.
So
That's a good description.
It wasn't a bad movie. It really wasn't. But if you're looking at the comedy aspect of it, I felt it was really light on that part.
Yeah.
So
yeah, kind of like Sorry About the Demon. I expected a lot more comedy than there was, and it was just like, him trying to get his girlfriend back and like fucking baking cakes for her and shit like that. It's like, I got enough of this bullshit during Christmas with the movies the wife made me watch. So I think I'm done.
I think that's all I had. I was just lost in one movie this week.
Well, I'll
both pretty much cool of the week for you then?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Okay. Well, I'll jump in off of the PS5 thing and say that I've been playing Spider-Man on the PC, which I mentioned last week.
Okay.
Yes. I'm still that's why I don't play video games, man. They're fucking dangerous. I can't put them down. Like I stayed up till 4:00 in the morning last night playing games.
Yeah, they're addicting.
My wife is trying to wake me up at 6:00 in the morning. I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so that's definitely a cool. I watched Echoes on Netflix.
Echoes.
Yeah, it's with the chick that we have later in the trailer. Monahan.
Oh, okay. Michelle Monaghan.
Sure. Michelle Monaghan.
Mm-hmm.
And she plays like identical twins. It's very Lifetimey. It's a limited series. It's only 7 episodes. So I mean it's not bad to get through. The acting is pretty good, but it's a little Lifetimey.
Is there a horror element to it, or is it just drama?
No, it's more of like a crime drama thriller sort of suspense thing. I've been into that stuff lately, and it was all right. Yeah, I can recommend it. It definitely wasn't my not cool of the week. And of course, The Last of Us. I watched episode 2 finally, and
hell yes,
I'm super stoked about the new episode coming out. Like I wasn't sure if they had me in the first episode, but the second episode they got me. I'm interested for sure.
Nice.
Yeah, the very beginning of it was amazing. Episode 2, like the explanation of the disease and kind of how it started. That was really cool.
Yeah,
all the stuff The Walking Dead never did.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Well, and now the monsters are here, and so like you see them in this episode, and they do a really good job of it.
Cool. All right. Sounds like some good stuff out there, and some typical January stuff out there. So we'll keep moving on, hopefully to some better stuff as Brian brings us horror headlines. What do we got going on, Brian?
Well, we'll segue off of Philip's cool of the week. The Last of Us, surprisingly, renewed for a second season.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
Shocker.
Yeah,
the world.
I think you would have really had to bomb for him to not do that.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's see. Another George R. R. Martin novel, the sci-fi novel Hunter's Run, is getting an adaptation from Awake director Mark Rasso.
Okay, sure. Anything to keep him from having to write those final 3 books. Asshole.
Movie
That story, man.
God damn.
Movie we were supposed to review was on our schedule last St. Patrick's Day. Unwelcome.
Oh, okay. Yes, I saw some people are watching that.
Yep, it's going to get a theatrical release date on March 10th and a full digital release on March 14th.
Unwelcome with a leprechaun, just in time for this year. Then I guess, huh?
Yeah, I had paired it with The Hollow because it has to do with what are the little creatures that like snatch kids?
The fairies. The fairies.
No,
right?
What is it called? Where they take the appearance of the child. They replace the child.
I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Not
Yeah.
like
I know what you're talking about. I couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
I think that's what Unwelcome's about.
Okay. Sean, any ideas, man?
No, I know what. I also know what you're talking about, but it's like on the tip of my fucking tongue.
Yeah, where they
not banshees, not
they
banshees,
come in and replace babies.
Yeah,
I gotta look it up now.
Yeah,
Damn
I know, it's bothering the shit out of me.
Doppelgangers, maybe, or is that mean something?
It's
not the word we're looking
for. Okay.
Something Jordan Peele would have said.
But it's close.
The tethered.
Exciting
All
stuff.
Right.
We're gonna figure it out.
I'll look it up in a second.
Okay.
Yeah. So Unwelcome. Somebody's already got access to it, Brian, because I've seen 3 or 4 people post in Facebook that they've already watched it.
Yeah, it could be out there, but it also could be people that get early access to screeners and stuff. So
we're not that lucky. We don't get that. Well, sometimes we do, but
we do, but not big movies, not yet. Soon, hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. There was a remake of Stephen King's Children of the Corn that was, I think it was filmed like 2 years ago.
What?
I heard about this. Yeah, I heard about it.
Yeah, and it has finally been picked up by Shudder.
Mm-hmm.
And this will get a March 3rd theatrical release date and then a March 21st digital release.
Interesting. Who's the cast? Like who's starring in it? Do you know?
I'm looking at the picture and it looks like a bunch of people I don't know.
Random fucks.
Not all the kids from Stranger Things then, huh?
Yeah, but I got to look up the director real quick. He did sound familiar.
Is it already in the can? Like they get a
they're done filmed
discount on it.
They probably filmed it during COVID.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Children of the Masks.
Sorry, guys.
The 3 children of corn because they have to stay 6
podcasting.
apart.
Great podcasting.
It's all good.
I think this is the right Children of the Corn. Unless there was another one that came out in 2000.
Oh, shit. Another movie I watched, Brian. I forgot to mention, speaking of COVID, was Sick on Peacock.
How'd you like it?
It was pretty good. That was probably the best of the newer horror movies that I saw. It was kind of an interesting twist.
And that one guy that keeps popping up in all the movies.
Yeah, Mark McMahon or whatever the hell his name is. Mark Mickelson or
Phil, the kidnapper from Alone.
Yeah. Because I wanted to watch Retaliators. I still haven't gotten around to that. Because every time I forget about it.
Kurt Wimmer is the director of.
Okay.
He wrote Equilibrium.
Okay.
And
I like
a lot of bad remakes.
Mark Menchaca.
Yeah, that's the other guy.
Yeah.
Kurt Wimmer wrote the Point Break remake, the Total Recall remake.
This is going to be fucking terrible then.
Oh my
he
God,
did write Law Abiding Citizen though. That was a good one.
That was a good one.
Yes,
that was a good one.
Yeah, that was badass.
Yeah, maybe we should do this one in congruence with Sharks of the Corn.
Trying to see if he directed anything.
I watched the old Point Break not too long ago. That movie's fucking
The
awesome.
old one's good. The new one's horrible.
Yeah, I haven't even watched the new one. I have no desire.
I don't think I've
Wouldn't
ever
waste
seen
your
it.
time. Yeah, I wouldn't waste your time.
I bought it for like $5, but
Yeah?
it's been sitting on my shelf.
Sitting on the shelf?
It's never
You
been
and
out of the
Nez.
wrapper.
Dude, y'all buy some dumbass movies, man. I'm sorry.
Sometimes, like 1 week I could be a completist, and then next week I
Yeah.
could see something that I don't have, and it was like I don't
Right?
need it.
Amityville
I really
Christmas
want this to put
Vacation.
on my shelf and never watch ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
That's what a collection is, though.
Yeah, sure that.
Let's see. Willem Dafoe. He joins the
Ah.
cast of Robert Eggers' Nosferatu remake.
But of course, how could he not be in that? You know?
I gotta remake my Nosferatu, man. That's
Yeah.
gonna
Have you guys seen the trailer for that movie Willem Dafoe's in, where he's like I don't know if he's like a burglar or something, but he breaks into this
Okay.
house and it locks down on him.
Oh wow.
I don't
And
Dude,
think
if I
so.
saw Willem Dafoe in my house, I would shit in my pants.
Especially as
swear
the
it's
Green
like
Goblin, right?
The owners aren't going to be back for like a while,
Mm-hmm.
Ah.
and there's like no water or food in there, and like
kind of like
like-
Home Alone in a safe house.
yeah, and
Safe room.
it looks real interesting because he's trying to figure out how
Right.
to get out, but like after a while of not having food or water, and then the heat
Jesus.
builds up in there, like you can tell he's
What?
like starting to like kind of lose it a little bit.
That sounds insane, dude. That sounds pretty good.
It's like another COVID movie. You get locked in
Yeah,
your own house.
right? Lockdown.
Very true.
Kind of cool update for Attack the Block 2. Joe Cornish is teasing an Alien / Terminator 2 approach to the movie.
I rewatched Attack the Block last night.
What does that mean? Alien / Terminator 2?
Is it just
don't
action
know.
style? Like,
Yeah,
are there
'cause-
specific.
To me, like the first Alien and Terminator movies were kind of more horror feel to them.
Mhm.
Yeah, I
Sure.
guess
And then the
that's true.
second was like more action sci-fi.
Yeah.
So
All right.
I'm cool if that's the direction that they're ramping up the action for it.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds interesting for sure.
Yeah, although there was plenty of action in Attack the Block. That's for sure.
Yeah, I don't know when it's going to be set though, because it can't be set right after the events because those
Yeah.
kids are clearly adults now.
Oh, yeah. That was at least 10 years ago, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You gotta
let's-
have John Boyega in there, you know?
Oh,
There's no way you could-
he's I think he's going to be in it, but I think he's also executive producing it. Like he meets with Joe Cornish all the time, and they kind of like throw ideas back and forth. So he's involved with the making of it, definitely. So
Maybe it'll be the next generation, like his kid.
yeah, going off the ending, I kind of want to see what happened, you know, because they arrested him and
Right.
was taking him away. I wonder, did he have to do time? Did anybody believe his story, or did the government come in and just kind of clean up everything and said there was no aliens?
Yeah, nothing happened.
Probably. Yeah.
Nothing happened here, right, Philip?
Yeah.
Nothing to
I
see
will-
here.
They'll tell you right now, you just won't believe it.
Let's see. Barbarian director Zach Krieger's next horror film is titled Weapons.
All right.
Okay.
Weapons.
So was Barbarian the first thing that they did?
He did.
Yeah.
I think
Well,
so.
He
I think
did
he
Miss
wrote
March.
some stuff.
That's
He
actually a
did
really
Miss
good.
March.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, and he did The Whitest Kids You Know, the skit
Oh
comedy
yeah,
show.
yeah.
Yeah.
Double checking here. I think that's it as far as news.
Is that it for the news?
Yeah.
All right, Sean, you ready to go down to the trailer park?
Yes, sir.
All right, Brian's going to bring us the big, the small, and sometimes the very, very weird. What's our first new trailer tonight, Brian?
First one is Blood, which I think this just got released this weekend.
Okay.
The quick synopsis: Jess, a separated nurse. Jess, a separated and that makes no sense. Who wrote this on IMDb? Jess, a separated and nurse.
Okay.
I don't know
With her daughter and young son Owen back into her old farmhouse shortly after settling in. Owen is bitten by a dog, resulting in a mysterious infection. We know what the infection is.
A vampire dog?
This stars Phil brought her up, Michelle Monaghan and Billy Loomis. I saw him in the trailer for a second.
Oh yeah.
I don't know who did this write up on IMDb because that made no sense. And plus, Michelle Monaghan is like 8th build on the cast.
They were clearly high as shit.
No kidding, man. Or maybe they wrote it in order of appearance or something, right?
Well, this guy, Frederick Allen, is top billed, and he's listed as hospital patient.
What?
Might want to go back and rewrite that one.
Maybe
I don't even see the kid nowhere.
Somebody was trying to get home for dinner at IMDb.
Oh, shit.
Jesus. Great job, IMDb. Great job.
This is directed by Brad Anderson and written by Will Honley.
Sure. Okay. I know who that is.
Sean.
Was there a vampire angle? Or
yeah, well, let's
all right, I'll be quiet.
Yeah. Sean, what you think?
I actually did not watch this. So I have to recuse myself.
All right, that's fine. Sometimes Lance doesn't watch the trailers.
Yes, frequently. I was watching it as we started recording tonight.
But you were asking about the vampire angle. I had the same thing. That's what it seems like. So do you get like a vampire dog bite?
It looks like from the trailer seems like the dog went to some kind of tree and there was something in the tree that bit the dog and then the dog bit the kid.
Ah, okay. Maybe it was a pet. What's that little thing called? The China wet market? Pelican or whatever.
Oh, penguin. No, not a penguin.
You know what I'm talking about. The little armadillo looking thing. The one that allegedly started COVID.
I've had a little bit of whiskey. Pangolin, yes.
Close enough.
I think this movie's going to be kind of light on the horror, though. I think it's going to go off of the question, how far will you go for your child? Because throughout the trailer, she finds out that the only thing that keeps him alive is blood. And so, being a nurse, she has access to blood, but, you can only take so much.
Right.
Which probably is going to lead to the fact that she's probably going to have to start possibly killing people.
Little bit of a Renfield vibe too, then, huh?
It looks interesting.
It reminds me of there was another movie where it was like an older brother and sister, and they had a younger brother, and they every now and then would kill people to feed their brother.
Sounds familiar, but I can't think of what it is.
It does sound familiar.
I think they would only kill bad people or something.
Well, wait, they got that going for them, so that's.
And
good.
It was I can't think of the movie's name. It was more like a drama because it was like the brother didn't want to do it no more because that was like his life. Like he would go to work and then him and sister they would take shifts, and that was like their life. And he didn't want to take care of his brother no more. And the brother was he was 16 or 17, but he kind of was like child acting because he would never.
There's so many people yelling at us tonight. It's like we always forget shit, but we're
fucking up bad.
Yeah, we are fucking this one up. This is a stinker, guys.
It's like that Drew Barrymore show on Netflix, and I can't remember the name of that one either. But I can't remember the name of anything. So
was it Drew Barrymore that was in the shark movie that was so bad, the Requiem, or was that?
No, that was
the other blonde from the
Alicia Silverstone. Yeah.
Alicia Silverstone. There you go.
I'm
always
the
getting
Barrymore show on Netflix where she was a zombie and had to eat people and they killed them.
The Santa Clarita Diet.
That's a good show.
That was amazing. Fucking Netflix shit the bed by
I know, dude.
God,
that pissed me ended way too soon. No, it ended on a total cliffhanger.
Yep.
A show that I only seen like a couple episodes and thought it was fine was that Warriors Nun.
My
guess
wife
there's like
watches that. Yeah.
a big petition for somebody to pick up that show because I guess that was like a fan favorite and Netflix canceled it.
Mm-hmm.
They love to cancel stuff.
They cancel the shit out of everything.
Yeah, like, HBO does too, man.
Yeah, they've been shitting the bed too. Yeah,
Netflix thinks everything needs to be the next Stranger Things or Cobra Kai. Right. Like if it doesn't do those numbers in the first season, you're done.
Yeah.
Well, then quit paying for stupid fucking action movies that suck.
Yeah.
Well, they got another one coming with
We're gonna get everybody who's anybody in Hollywood in this movie and spend $1 billion. $1
billion of our money.
God awful. Money. We're gonna release it straight to Netflix.
What's the Rock movie?
I think it's a Christmas action movie called Red One.
What?
I don't know if you guys ever.
He's gonna play Santa now. Rock's gonna play Santa. Watch, I guarantee you.
What's his name? J.K. Simmons.
Yes.
You guys ever see those pictures where he's like super like jacked now? He's like ripped.
Yeah. Yes, I have. I have seen.
I think it was for this movie.
Okay.
He was pretty big in Whiplash.
Well, he's bigger now.
Oh, okay. He's like superhero size. J.K. Simmons, get it, old man.
What do you know? It's never too late to start hitting the gym, is it?
I tell you.
There's Chris Evans in it.
Yeah.
Who is it? What'd you say, Sean?
That red one. It's got Chris Evans in it.
No shit.
Rock. Yeah. J.K. Simmons.
Jesus Christ.
Is that a Netflix movie?
Yep. It's another movie they made that they're gonna raise our prices.
Yep. Yeah. Spending our money.
And how are they going to put all those people in there? And I guarantee you it's going to suck.
They want to do a damn sequel to what's the one, that stupid one with the golden egg thing?
Oh, come on, dude.
That The Rock was in.
Yeah, that
Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman was in it.
Anybody?
Yeah, Gal Gadot.
They're gonna make another one of those.
Maybe this is the sequel to that one. That one had red in the title, didn't it?
Yeah, I think it did.
What's it called? Red Notice or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. What? I think. Was it Red Notice? Fuck.
Yeah. I try to erase that one from my memory because it was so bad.
It wasn't that bad.
People don't listen to our show for information.
Okay.
Well, I tried to watch it like 2 or 3 times and just got fucking bored, dude.
Well,
yeah.
That'll happen.
Yeah.
I just couldn't buy Gal Gadot as like. Wasn't she supposed to be like the villain?
Yeah.
I was like, you're Wonder Woman, and you're the whatever her name was in Fast and Furious. That they're bringing her back for the new one. I was like, you fucking died.
Well, that's Fast and Furious for you, man.
I was like, you guys,
from the dead
all the deaths that had like any kind of
does.
Every death that kind of had any emotional impact, they just bring the actor back a couple movies later.
Sure.
Yeah, because it doesn't matter.
Who am I keeping up? I'm gonna watch it anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
All right. Blood. I believe it's on VOD right now.
All right.
Cool.
All right.
Adding it to the list here.
Dogs. Yeah.
And I just thought about that. What if they just go through the whole movie and they just forget about the vampire dog?
They might.
Probably.
All right. As we are recording this show, this trailer dropped today. Thanks, Stephen King. He gave everybody the heads up. And that is adaptation of his, you said, Lance, it's a short story?
I think so. I'm looking it up right now. Okay, 1980. Nope. That's something else. Never mind. Hold on. Let me keep looking. There's so many things called The Boogeyman.
Synopsis is pretty short and sweet. It says
1973.
Adaptation of Stephen King's The Boogeyman. That's the synopsis.
Like he remembers anything he wrote back then anyway.
The story takes place in the office of Dr. Harper, a psychiatrist, where a man named Lester Billings talks to the doctor about the murders of 3 young kids, describing the events of the past several years.
definitely one I need to reread because I don't remember any of that.
Oh, this is directed by Rob Savage. He did Host and Dashcam.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
So maybe the movie will be longer than an hour.
Maybe the chick from Dashcam will show up. Maybe
who is in this cast? Chris Messina. He looks familiar.
Okay.
Probably just mispronounced the name. It's not Carlos Mencia.
Yeah,
okay. That was my first thought.
Sophie Thatcher. I know her. She was on that show, Yellow Jackets.
Yep.
Okay.
And this guy, I can never pronounce his last name. Okay. David Dalsmichin, Polka Dot Man from Suicide Squad.
That guy. Yeah.
Cool, kooky looking guy.
Yeah.
Weird looking dude.
Yep.
Yeah, no kidding.
And those are the only ones that I recognize. Sean, did you get a chance to see this one?
I actually didn't get a link for any of the trailers, so.
That's my bad. That's right, because you're not in the messenger group. Yeah. God damn it. Okay, that's on me, Brian.
The trailers. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was gonna say I can pull it up real quick and watch it while.
Okay.
Might as well.
My thoughts, real quick. Trailer's pretty basic. Monster in the closet, maybe under the bed, going after children. The thing that really piqued my interest is this is made by the studio that's been making Prey, the Hellraiser reboot, and dropping them on Hulu. This was gonna go Hulu, but I guess they did like one of those test screenings, and they were like, no, this needs to go theatrical now.
Oh, that's.
And it looks like a good horror movie to take the kids to. Like it looks like it'll be scary enough, or not scary enough that you can't take your kids, but
kind of an entry, kind of like Krampus.
Yeah. There you go.
My kids still bitch about that.
They didn't like Krampus, or
no? They love Krampus. It just was was scary. They were
was
like,
it?
Yeah, you don't want them to have nightmares, sure, but
yeah.
They kind of got freaked out by that one, huh?
Yes.
All right, I think I just sent you the link to the Boogeyman if you want to check it out.
I just got that. Let me watch it real quick.
All right.
What'd you take, Lance?
I think I need to watch it again here too. So.
Yeah, I think it looked.
It's hard to tell what's going on, frankly.
Yeah, it looks a lot like a generic monster in the dark kind of movies, like The Darkness, and I don't know. There's 15.
Don't say that.
No, not.
No.
I don't know. There's like 10 other movies that are named really close to that. Not The Darkness, but like
not the.
Ghost movies where there's some shit that lives in the dark, and they can't see it.
Yep, that's what it looks like.
They can't see it.
I'll tell you this. It certainly doesn't look like what Brian described the story, or what. Sean, was that you that described the story?
Yeah, that.
Doesn't look like that at all. That's for sure.
No. Thank you, fucking Wikipedia.
Darkness Falls.
It's not a long trailer though.
No.
They don't really show you much.
Yeah. But with the Stephen King twist, I'm almost actually excited about it. It looks like maybe it's going to be something more than just generic monster in the dark horror movie thing. So, I mean, hopefully
I hope so.
Especially if they, we're going to do VOD and then now they're going to release it theatrical. That's a good sign.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a good sign because realistically they've been crushing it with the 20th Century Studios releasing stuff on Hulu. They've been crushing it. So for them to like, no, this needs to go to theaters.
I'm really surprised Prey wasn't in the theaters.
Oh yeah, well it needs to get a theater release. Yeah, they got to find a way to get that one out in the theaters this year.
I think based on the trailer, I think it looks like it could be really good. It does. It's not necessarily that it stands out with anything distinct, but it does look like ominous, and it does have a great atmosphere to it, at least in the trailer. So I'm excited to watch it.
Yeah, and plus it's the Boogeyman. Everybody has heard of the Boogeyman.
Oh my god!
Yeah, exactly.
As long as it's not the Bye Bye Man.
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh,
I
geez.
honestly, I would watch another movie based on that
Would
because
you?
there's so much they introduced in that movie that just made no sense. I was like, what is the coin? What is the dog with him?
He
What
was
does this
just.
Well,
mean?
It was a stupid name for a movie, though.
Yeah, it was.
They could have said the Pee Pee Poo Poo Man. You know.
The bye-bye man. The bye-bye man. And then they
Don't
said it so many damn times in the
don't say
movie.
it.
Right.
Don't think it. How
Right.
do you do that?
well,
How
maybe
do you
the
not think it?
maybe the coin was a tie into Leprechaun, and if they do the sequel, it'll be Bye Bye Man meets Leprechaun.
Well, we know
And that
who's winning.
In
that was
space.
Leprechaun's
So
coin.
yeah.
He's gonna get it out of the Bye Bye
Definitely.
Man's stomach.
We know who's winning. I mean, Leprechaun's
Oh,
been to
sure.
the hood and he's been to space,
That's
Yeah,
true.
and he's
and he
still
smoked
here.
he smoked
Yep,
reefer.
he's still around.
A friend with weed is a friend indeed.
Oh God.
All
and
right.
he had a magic piccolo. So
That was such an awful movie.
The
Awfully great.
Boogeyman.
All right.
The Boogeyman is coming to theaters June 2nd, and if there's nothing else slated for that week, we might
right.
put it on the schedule because I believe they tried to make this adaptation like 40 years ago,
Oh,
in
wow.
like the
crap.
80s or something.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I think I've seen it, but I don't remember. I might have watched it when I was a kid and just
Yeah.
Just forgot.
Sounds familiar,
Yeah.
but
Well, if they tried to make it in the 80s, I mean, Stephen King probably fucking snorted a rail and was like, yeah, man, we should have fucking crazy alive trucks in there too.
Uh,
That was the feel we get from this
somebody needs to make that movie.
one.
oh God.
and
All
like
right.
the disaster artist, the making of Maximum Overdrive.
Yes.
Oh gosh, make that movie.
Please make that. That sounds amazing.
Who would play Stephen King?
Nobody had to
Stephen King.
because they don't remember it.
All right, Lance. Or Phil.
All
Listener feedback.
Listener feedback. This week, the podcast spotlight shines on Straight Chilling, based out of Jacksonville, Florida. The Straight Chilling crew are a group of old friends who gather weekly and to casually review horror films, make recommendations, talk trivia, news, and more. Straight
Cool.
Chilling has you covered on all things horror. That sounds familiar.
Yeah, I have to check that out.
Mine is
Yeah,
the
definitely.
part because we suck at that.
Gotta finally found the name of the creatures that take children and take their parents. Changelings.
There it is.
Ah, there you go.
Yeah.
You got it. You got it.
That's
All
what
right,
I'm
we
for.
can move on now.
Thank you. Regarding Possessor, Devi Pula says, really liked this one. Aria Wellman says, I met Sean Bean on set in the summer and talked to him about this movie a bit.
Hmm.
Oh, wow.
Zim
Nice.
Bader says, garbage. Matt Wood says, explain your thoughts. Zim says, I could see that the film was trying to be clever, but it really just bored me. Then it felt like they went for an over-the-top gory ending to try to mask the fact that the rest of the film did nothing. I was really looking forward to this one, so I felt extra disappointed that I didn't like it. We'll give it another try at some stage. Matt says, I hear what you're saying, dude. Hey, look at that. We're getting along. Gary Moronic. Is that okay? Says I don't.
Now we're not getting along. Oh, Straight Chillin', their newest episode has a review of Skinamarink. I'm downloading it right now.
Oh, there you go.
Let's see what they had to say about it.
See
Awesome.
this back and forth right here. This is the
Okay.
back and forth I like.
Yeah,
Right?
there you
Two
go.
people did not disagree with a movie, but they did not call each other names and
Yeah,
insult
they
each
were
other.
civil.
True.
That's the way it should be.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it's just a movie.
Now we don't always agree here.
Yep.
Uh,
Even on Skinamarink.
Even on Skinamarink. Maybe. I don't know. I haven't seen it. Regarding Red Eye, Franklin Correa says, great thriller. It is.
Yeah.
Red Eye's a good one. I hadn't watched it in a while.
New 4K dropping soon.
Yeah.
Ah.
Sweet.
Big Dumb Monsters podcast said, thanks for sharing.
Anytime.
Regarding the upcoming Float Zim Vader says, I can already tell what this film needs is Alicia Silverstone.
Oh my God.
I will talk about this movie next week.
Yes. Put Alicia Silverstone in there. Brian created a poll that says, will Brandon Cronenberg surpass his father? So far, the majority says no. Zim added, only if he remakes The Fly and it's an 11 out of 10 masterpiece.
Yep, no way to do that.
It's coincidence.
That's
It's a coincidence that Lance gets up at this question right
I
here.
know, right?
Because he's such a Brandon Cronenberg's better than his father cheerleader.
Yeah.
That is true.
I'm not sure I'm there.
I don't think I'm necessarily there either.
Third best Jason. Number 2 is Derek Mears. Number 1 is Kane Hodder, says David.
Okay.
Holy shit. Is Lance shooting somebody in the background?
He's finally back. Hey, Lance.
Oh, what
Did
we
you
talked
murder
about?
somebody?
Float?
What happened?
Oh no, I just had to get another beer.
Oh, okay.
No, on the poll, nobody agrees with you that Brandon Cronenberg is better than his father.
Oh well, that doesn't surprise me too much.
Well, not nobody. The poll was that no. Matt Wood says, who the fuck is Matt Smith, Lance? You forgot
boy
already?
I didn't even catch that.
No, I didn't either. None of y'all pull my ass out of the fire on that one. Shit.
Dude, I'm terrible with names. Like, if I had to name you like ex-girlfriends, I couldn't do it right now.
I'm better.
In my in my defense, Matt, I had been watching about 3 episodes of House of the Dragon in a row, and Matt Smith's character is easily my favorite character in the show.
Maybe you said Matt Smith, and I was thinking about Doctor Who, and you were just like
sure
randomly bringing up Doctor Who or something.
Yeah, for all we know, Matt may be one of the doctors. You know, everybody else has been that's British.
That's why he's so mad, dude. You ruined his actual name.
Right.
They haven't announced it yet, Lance, for the new season.
Okay. Well, we'll see who it's going to be.
Well, you outed him already.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe you were going to say maybe Dane DeHaan would be the next Doctor Who.
Oh, my God.
What, do you text to sleep in the phone booth or whatever? That's a phone booth, right?
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
It looks like a phone
TARDIS.
booth from the outside, sure.
What is it?
A TARDIS is the
TARDIS.
actual name of it.
Yeah,
I've never
TARDIS.
actually watched the show.
I've never seen an episode.
I've seen a few. I've seen a few.
I've seen a couple, yeah.
But oddly enough, if you bring up like one of the actors that play Doctor Who, like I know who you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, Matt Wood, our fan, hopefully still.
Oh, he's gonna be on the show next week. So there you
My
go.
bad, dude.
You better hope Matt
Cast
Wood
coming.
shows up, not Matt Smith.
Not Matt's. Oh, that would be great if they both showed up. What if he brought Matt Smith with him? How fucking awesome would that be?
All right. Well, now you're obligated. Regarding upcoming Zach Kreger film Weapons, Marcus Will Turner says absolutely. Barbarian was one of the best horror films of 2022 or ever. Kreger deserves this picture deal. I'm not mad at that.
It was no The Thing, was it, Brian?
Nothing's up there.
That is so true.
It was not Jaws, that's for sure.
It was pretty awesome, though.
Or The Exorcist, although I'm very worried about this new Exorcist, considering how much they shit the bed on the final Halloween movie. Sean, what did you think about the final fucking new Halloween movie?
It was garbage. It was dog shit lit on fire. Ugh, and just, I hated it so fucking much. The kid, receiving the fucking powers of Michael Myers, the limited amount of Michael Myers,
He didn't get that much powers from Michael. Michael took him out pretty quickly.
Yeah, it was like, for it to be a trilogy and it to be the third one, it was so disconnected and just
That's a good way to put it.
Just shit. I can't phrase it any other way other than shit.
Yeah.
I felt like
hated
they didn't release it in order. Like That
Yeah, I
movie
could
should
see
have been the
that.
middle movie.
I think so too. That would make more sense if it was the middle and then.
Right.
But it was. I will not
I mean,
watch that movie.
My
I'm
favorite
not-
part was the bully band nerds.
Oh
Yes.
God.
Yes.
Bully Panthers.
Oh God.
What was
But
you gonna say, bro?
I'm not worried about The Exorcist because it's not. It is a sequel to the original, but that's only the fact from what I'm reading. The story is the father that of the daughter that's being possessed. He goes to
Okay.
Reagan's mother for help.
Ah, okay.
So
And
it's
that's
not like
about
they're.
it.
It's a whole new story. So.
Understood.
Interesting.
Okay.
So.
Well, you guys were talking about the Halloween movies feeling like they were disjointed and like out of order.
Mhm.
Have you guys heard of this show on Netflix called Kaleidoscope?
Oh, where you watch the episodes any way you want and you get to
Yeah,
the
isn't
same.
that weird? Like
Yeah.
they're
I
not in
clicked on
order.
it. I haven't watched it.
I think they already
Mhm.
canceled that.
Oh well, I guess that experiment didn't work. Okay.
Well, they've tried to do a couple of interactive things. They had that
Yeah, the Black
Black
Mirror
Mirror
thing,
thing,
the choose
the
your own adventure.
Bandersnatch.
Mhm.
That was kind
That
of
was
fun.
cool. Yeah, I liked
Right.
it a lot. And then they had some sort of trivia thing, but it was like bar trivia. I don't understand
Bar
what
trip,
point.
like pop-up video type thing, or
Yeah, but it didn't even have any videos. It would just ask you a question, answer the question.
Didn't they
It's like,
have
why is this on
That's dumb.
Netflix?
Did they have an interactive
Weird.
thing with that guy, that Bear Grylls or whatever?
did
they
they?
have an interactive?
I think they
That
did.
wouldn't surprise me. That might be interesting, actually.
Yeah. But Bandersnatch is definitely the best one of those things that they've done. Maybe that's not, that sort of seems like the 3D movie that was real big there for a minute.
Mhm.
Anyway, so yeah, there's that. And our show intro and all of our new logos come from Steve Carlton from The Geeks, who was on last week. Check that show out, even though we fucked up the recording. Or was it 2 weeks ago?
2 weeks ago.
Yes, he was on that one, so you saw it. And be on the lookout for some more great stuff from Steve. Our original skull artwork comes from Natsulani, so check her out on Instagram. And if you'd like to help us out, please consider becoming a Patreon patron. We'll let you pick the shows, pick the movies for a future show at any amount, or for $5 or more a month. Also, pick a commentary for your future bonus show. I'm sorry, I'm drunk. But you get the idea. Go to Patreon, check us out. Go to our website, www.thehorrorreturns.com. We have some really cool t-shirts.
Definitely.
Yeah. And on to our featured attractions. This week we're going to check out the brand new Infinity Pool as well as 2020's Possessor. Brandon Cronenberg. Lance's God.
Oh, come on. Yeah, that's pushing it a little far. That would be Dane DeHaan.
Oh, okay. He's not Lemmy yet.
Or Keith David, not David Keith.
We'll start with Possessor. An agent works for a secretive organization that uses brain implant technology to inhabit other people's bodies, ultimately driving them to commit assassinations for high-paying clients. She's an assassin that uses other people's bodies.
Yeah, she's not driving them to commit.
Yeah, it was a weird description.
Doing it through their body. So
yeah. It's what the CIA will be doing in 10 years.
With the help of what's his name that keeps fucking up Twitter, changing the rules and regulations like every week.
Yeah. I don't know, man. You look into it. He's letting out some truth, though. The government's already fucking involved in it.
Yeah, it's just with the platform. Like, I only use it for the show, really.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then like one week he was like, "Well, if you got something you're promoting on Facebook, we'll delete your Twitter."
Oh, I gotcha.
Okay,
Yeah,
but then like 3 days later, he's like, "You know what? Go ahead."
Working out the kinks.
Yeah.
Right.
Anyway, the director and writer is Brandon Cronenberg, also known for Antiviral. And a few other things. What was Antiviral? The zombie one?
No, that was the one where people were buying viruses of rich and famous people. to inject into their bodies, so they'd have the same illness as the super
Batman
rich.
in that?
Was Pattinson in that one?
Yeah.
Might have been. I know the guy that played Banshee in the X-Men movies was in it. The really weird looking guy that was in Get Out.
Yeah.
The ginger haired. Can't think of his name. People are killing us tonight.
Yeah.
Telling you, we need shirts that say "You don't come here for information."
Right. Well, I think we can probably.
Listen, for me, guys, this is
right
just a reason to get drunk and hang out with my buddies and talk about horror movies. It's fun.
That's fair.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
Hey, they say your brain can only take in so much information. Occasionally, it's got to push some old stuff out for some new stuff.
An old thing that I remember from that is an episode of
You forgot already.
Okay. I'm thinking of, by the way,
Al Bundy, Married with Children, and he was on a game show, and Kelly told him something. Oh, maybe it was The Simpsons. Somebody was on a game show.
I think it was Family Guy. Man. Oh no, it was in Living Color.
And somebody told him a fact that pushed that thing out of. I really think it was Married with Children. Somebody told him a fact at the very end of the moment that pushed that last little fact out of his brain because he only had enough information.
And he lost, right?
And he lost at the very end. It was definitely Married with Children.
That's a Bundy movie, big time. Caleb Landry Jones is the actor I think that was in.
Yeah, that's his name.
Anyway, let's do some trivia. Most of the special effects in the film were done practically with an effort to use as little VFX work as possible. The hallucination scenes effects were in particular done with in-camera.
I could see that.
Okay. There are two versions of the script for Possessor. Cronenberg said that there's a possibility of a second movie down the line, one that would encompass the material but didn't make it to this film.
Interesting.
I feel like maybe if it had gotten more buzz or had been more popular.
Well, I know there's two versions of the film they put out. There's Possessor and Possessor Uncut.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, okay.
If you want to see Dick, then watch Possessor. they take all that out in Possessor Uncut, which was weird.
I know.
Right.
That is very odd.
You'd think it'd be the other way around, right?
Yeah. Well, I guess they had to make. They put more gore. I think Possessor Uncut's the version widely seen.
The gorier one, but with less dick. Gotcha.
It's the one on Hulu. Sean, what did you think about Possessor?
I had never actually heard of this until, we were slated to record and I watched it today. I didn't get the chance, I'll go ahead and say, to watch Infinity Pool, just because I didn't realize it was in theaters and otherwise I would have made time. Yeah, but this is a very interesting, Possessor is a very interesting movie. It's very trippy and it had good special effects, but the story was confusing as fuck. My wife and I both watched it, and she was like, "Am I having a stroke, or is this movie just difficult to follow?" And I'm like,
"Yeah,
no, yes. it's incredibly difficult to follow." And so I'm not gonna say that it's terrible just because of that, but it's just, I don't know how. I think I need to rewatch it, a second viewing to see kind of how I feel about it. So those are kind of my initial thoughts, and there was a lot of nudity in this, a lot more than I was expecting. Otherwise, I wouldn't have had it on with I just got my kids home from the field trip, and I didn't realize, there was going to be all.
Yeah, I had to turn it off multiple times.
Right? NSFW.
Yeah, I was like, oh shit. So that's kind of my initial thoughts. Great.
Where's the fucking remote? Mute.
Great special effects. It is very trippy. But I mean, the idea of it is cool. I just don't know if the execution was the best.
Fair enough. What did you think about the Leatherface effects when he had her face and he's putting it over his?
That was pretty cool. That was that was pretty
Definitely
cool.
practical, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, when they like recreated the body, like, you know, where it was in reverse.
Sure.
That
Like making a wax candle or something
yeah,
like that.
yeah. I like that. I just, like I said, I kind of had trouble following the story, you know, on this. What are you guys kind of thinking? And did you also have trouble, or is it just me?
Lance, jump on it.
Man, I love this movie. I think that the main thing or at least my main takeaway from this movie was how, if you do get to where, you know, this particular technology is available, and you can literally go inside someone else's brain and actually, you know, function within that body.
That's why Elon wants to put the chip in our head.
It's coming. But I can definitely see where
I see it more like the Borg.
Because not to cut you off, Lance, because you got to look deeper into this movie. Like, the person they were actually taking out, it wasn't just a hit. Sure. It had to do with like corporate stuff and stocks and you know.
Absolutely.
I can see Elon. Someone calling up Elon. It's like, you got someone with a chip in his head. He was like, shh. Yep, I got one ready right now.
Kind of almost like a Succession thing, right? You know, where, you know, everybody's fighting for the old man to die off so everybody can get the money, right? But what my main takeaway from this movie was the fact that it was obvious, because everybody kept referring to her as a pro. And in fact, one of her handlers at one time said, "Wow, I'm so honored to meet you. You know, you're legendary. You've been doing this for years. You know, you're a master at this." And it's just amazing the way that she would kind of like literally lose herself. And I think it all started with when she was that first character and she had the gun, but she couldn't bring herself to blow her own brains out, because she couldn't separate her mind from being in that physical body. And I think that's where you run into the trouble with this type of technology. And I would think if you could do this, you could only do it a few times before you would just go absolutely mad.
I have a different theory on that.
Well, yeah, I definitely like to hear that. I like the way they ended the movie. A lot of people didn't care for the ending. I think Zim said it was just gore for the sake of gore. But the fact that she thought she was killing her own child, but in reality, it was Jennifer Jason Leigh's character had to go in there and like literally retrieve her out of the program because she wouldn't leave.
I have a theory on that.
And also, I will say this, and this is going to play into the next movie as well, but Brandon Cronenberg, I don't know if he's a woman hater per se, but he has a lot of emasculated men in his movies, because this poor guy, man, it's like he married into this family and he couldn't, you know, all of a sudden he couldn't make any of his own decisions. And she was, that's tough for us as guys, right? We're used to being the breadwinner, and we're used to being the man, right? And, you know, we'll see that. We're going to see that a whole lot more in the next movie. But that does seem like that's going to be a theme that we're going to see from Brandon over and over again, because it was quite obvious here. But I thought all of the acting was well done. Mandy did a great job. She was trippy, as Mandy is always trippy. And I thought that the guy who played the small-time cocaine dealer that married the rich chick that she inhabited to kill off the father's Succession style. And how ironic is this? Of all the characters that don't die, it's Sean Bean for the first time ever in a Sean Bean role. Isn't the one who dies?
That is crazy.
How do you not die from that?
He should have.
No kidding.
Blunt force trauma to the head. I mean, just
okay, guys. So this is in the not too distant future, right? So maybe medicine is that much better by then, Brian. Who knows?
When was it?
Those are my theories on the film. What do you guys think?
In an alternate 2008.
All right. Okay. So we're in the Spider-Verse. Okay, gotcha.
My theory. Okay, where her not wanting to come out the body, I took it as she didn't want to go back to the life that she was living, that bland family life, just ordinary, everyday,
Sure.
whatever. I think she loved, because there was a scene where her Jennifer Jason Leigh's character is asking her, like, why didn't you just shoot him? Why did you pick up a steak knife and stab him? And she was like, that was more efficient. And she was like, what do you mean efficient?
Right.
It's not efficient. You just shoot him, bam, you're done. Just stab him.
It's a lot more personal, right? That's why slashers always like to kill with knives, because it's like almost penetrating them, raping them.
I think she
power.
She loved the power. She loved to kill. It excited her. It gave her a rush, and just the thought of leaving this world and going back to her life, where there was that scene where she had to rehearse what she's going to say to her family.
Right.
She does not know how to be with them no more, because she's so in tune with this other world, and I think that's where she wanted to be. And then the ending, I think she knew she had to kill her kid, or that was her kid.
Mm-hmm.
I think she wanted to eliminate that last thing that was kind of
holding her back,
hurting her back, and Jennifer Jason Leigh's character knew that was holding her back. That's why she chose the son's body to come in to bring her out.
That is crazy. Yes, good theories, man. That's cool how we both saw the same movie, but we saw it completely differently.
Yeah. And I thought everybody was good. We keep calling her Mandy. I think her name is how do you say Andrea Riseborough?
Hey, she's up for an Oscar this year.
What was she in?
Best actress.
What was she?
Not gonna tell me, or
I can't think of the name of the movie. Isn't it called just like Leslie or Lenny or something like that? I think it's like a really simple name.
You know me.
I think it's on Netflix. So
more people screaming at us.
Yeah, I'll look it up. We need to start.
The guy that played the guy you were talking about, Christopher Abbott. I thought he was pretty good. I loved when we got to the part where his consciousness was actually waking up, and he was trying to figure out what's going on here, and he would see she would see her in the mirror, and it was a lot of cool visuals of them coming apart,
and that fight for dominance too, right?
So
the movie is called To Leslie.
Leslie, never heard of it.
Me either.
I think I'm pretty sure it's on Netflix. Looked it up, and I believe it's on Netflix. If not, I'm pretty sure it's out there.
And thinking about it, the movie could almost be a representation of like multiple personality disorder, which is controversial within the mental health world, but where there's a fighting for personality, which one's going to be the dominant, the submissive, and control.
What if this is already happening, and that's why multiple personalities are there?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Hey, if anybody was going to be in control of our fucking crazy computer future where this is going to happen, I'd rather be Elon than anybody else at this moment.
Well, he may already be.
There's just a lot of scenes in this movie where you can tell which side of that personality she wanted. Even when she was in the guy's body, the sex scene with the wife.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because you look at when she had sex with her husband in the beginning, she had no expression, no emotion.
She was dead. Yeah, absolutely.
But then when she's having sex with the guy's wife, and the wife starts like choking him, you could tell like she's getting excited.
Yeah,
like,
I guess she kind of liked having that dick.
So I mean, that's how I took this movie.
That's awesome, dude. Yeah, you've got me thinking, man.
Every chance she had to go into somebody's body to do one of these hits, that's who she wanted to be. That's the life she wanted.
So she got addicted to it, basically.
Yeah.
She hated her own reality, and
very nice.
No matter what reality it was better than her, one back home, so to speak.
And did you guys notice how big her company is? That the little toy robot the kid was playing with that had the company's logo on it.
Okay.
So they also make toys.
Oh,
Holy
this
shit.
might tie in with Megan down the road.
Oh, same company.
There it is. All right. So, in general, you liked it. It sounds like.
Yeah, it was my top. I think.
Okay.
Well, Lance, it was like my top 5 that year. I think.
Sounds about right. I think it was in my top 10, so we both enjoyed it.
Yeah, definitely in my top 10.
And I feel like I really enjoyed this the first time that I watched it. But we're gonna call this one a good news sandwich because this time not so much, man. It was like the first hour or so of this fucking movie was so boring.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my god, are we gonna fucking get somewhere?
Right.
So it's I mean the effects were great.
My wife said the same thing. She was like, "This is
Yeah.
I'm so bored."
Right.
Yeah. Like I think that the story was there and it was just not quite put together right. Right? It's like a puzzle you sort of have to put together on your own. And that's not what I was looking for in the moment. Maybe I was just in the wrong attitude for this movie, but I was bored out of my fucking mind. I was like, I don't want to watch this again. It felt like a chore.
Even when Sean Bean got attacked.
Yeah, well, no, I remember really enjoying it when I watched it the first time, but trying to watch it again for this one, I was like, oh, when is this gonna be over?
That's not a good sign.
Watching the clock, hoping for it to end.
Not a good sign.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it has rewatchability to it. Unless you're trying to find some more stuff and you're really interested in this particular situation, which wasn't. So.
Okay. Fair enough.
All right. Let's do scores. Sean?
I really need to, like I said, rewatch it for a second time to kind of get a true assessment, an accurate assessment of the movie. But I don't hate it. And the more we talk about it, I think it's going to bring up my original score. So I was going to say like a 5, out of 5 out of
half good, half bad. Sure.
Yeah. So I think I would bring it up, with everything that we've discussed and say, a 7.5.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Just because there's more to think about in regards to it. And I want to watch it again just to see if that makes it any better, or if I'm still like, oh my god, I'm bored out of my fucking mind, and this is still, so.
Lance, what do you think?
I'll go 8 on this one. So
okay.
This was a good one. This was better than 70% of Richard Cronenberg's movies.
This feels like a Lance movie. Brian?
Brandon Cronenberg, hallowed be thy name, huh, Lance? Oddly enough, I agree with Lance. This is an 8 out of 10. I like the special effects. I got more out of this rewatch than I did the first time I watched it. Especially a lot of the stuff with our main character, and then I thought they were bringing up a lot of stuff that is probably happening right now. Like I didn't even bring up the job the guy had is they watch our webcam feed to see what we have in our surroundings. So you know how when you're like looking up stuff or you're on Facebook and a little ad for something for a website you were just on pops up. That's probably because they're watching everything we're doing.
Yeah.
Data mining the
shit
out of
scenes.
Except instead of hiring an actual person, they just get a computer to do it.
Yeah.
I thought that scene was pretty crazy right there. You know, like you said, Lance, people having sex pops up and he's supposed to be like talking about what kind of curtains they have. And
yeah, that's probably going on, right? It's just bots watching it, not humans. Or maybe it is humans watching it too.
Oh, it is.
And why did I call his dad Richard Cronenberg and not David Cronenberg, by the way?
Oh, I don't know.
There I go again with the Matt Smith.
It is going on because there was a one of the the robots, the vacuuming robots. I can't think of the fucking name of them, but
the little round things.
That, So they have cameras on them, and they're actually they pulled. There was a scandal recently. It was in the news that there was some footage of they'll pull data from those cameras and just to kind of to be able to enhance the software, they'll send the video that they capture and they farm it out to like, India or wherever.
Oh God.
They'll have someone so that they can do better voice recognition and to kind of help the machine to learn more. And anyway, that the robots, they basically capture people like either having sex or like in the bathroom, and real people had actually watched this footage, and that was actually shared. Yeah, like this woman that went to the bathroom and the fucking so it's already happening.
We may be closer than we think to this technology.
Snowden, they can pull up your fucking phone camera at any time they want to.
That is true.
Scary stuff, man.
With all that being said, easy out of 10. And Sean Bean doesn't die.
Yeah, for once.
There's that. Man, I'm gonna be the low man on the totem pole here. I'm gonna give it a 5.5.
Okay.
I can't remember.
Still more good than bad.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess we haven't really reviewed this film before, but I probably would have given it a higher score the first time that I watched it.
You think
it was just the second time it just felt like a chore, man. It was like long and slow and boring, and maybe it just wasn't what I was in the mood for. But boy, it took forever to get there.
That happens.
Like sometimes you're driving, and it's just chill, whatever, and then sometimes somebody hits the brakes in the middle of the road, and you're like, "What in the fuck are you doing? I'm gonna yank you out of your car."
I'll tell you what,
off the road.
I have the perfect medication for you. Go watch Skinamarink, and then rewatch this one.
Well, there's that.
Well, don't watch it on your computer because you'll punch your computer.
Oh God.
All right. All right, mixed reviews for Possessor. Let's see what we thought about Infinity Pool. James and M. Foster are enjoying an all-inclusive beach vacation in the fictional island of Latoka when a fatal accident exposes the resort's perverse subculture of hedonistic tourism, reckless violence, and surreal horrors. Director and writer is, again, Brandon Cronenberg. It's rumored that Robert Pattinson was offered the lead role but passed.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Originally rated NC-17 for some graphic violence and sexual content, but was re-edited to an R rating on an appeal.
So there will
probably
be
put it on the Blu-ray.
I'm surprised there even is an NC-17 rating. I mean,
I know.
That's fucking stupid.
I mean, they got relatively graphic.
I mean, really, NC-17 and you're cutting it down to R. Who are you trying to get in there? The adults?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, what adult couldn't get into the NC-17 one?
Yeah, makes no sense, does it?
No, it doesn't, especially in today's world. It's like just, rated NC-17. I mean, fuck.
Or maybe it's a movie theater thing.
Yeah,
you think
but
so?
maybe
they won't show NC-17.
And then, going into to an NC-17 movie sort of feels like Pee-wee going into the theater
with a trench coat and a popcorn thing with a hole in the bottom.
A little bit of a social stigma or something, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, that's possible. I mean,
all right, Sean, you said you missed this one. Lance,
yes, I did. I'm sorry.
Oh, no worries, dude.
Oh, too bad, man. Well, you'll get a chance, I'm sure.
Yeah. Actually, let's maybe sandwich it again. Brian,
Okay.
What did you think about this one? Because you watched a shitty copy too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I thought the acting was good. I thought Mia Goth knocked it out the park again. She is such a ball of fucking weirdness and craziness.
Yeah.
For her not to be up for an Oscar this year is the same thing as Toni Collette not being up for Hereditary.
I gotta say,
it's a fucking sin.
This is the hottest she's ever been, though.
You think so?
I think so.
Well, you got to see a lot of her.
This is the most lacking of eyebrows. Yeah, ever since my wife pointed that out when we seen X, every time I was like, "You got eyebrows this movie?" It was like, "Nope."
It's weird.
I thought Alexander Skarsgård. I thought this was a different role for him because
he definitely
I hated him when I first got introduced to him. And then after a while, I kind of hated him some more. Then after a while after that, I kind of felt sorry for him.
Uh-huh.
But then he started doing stupid shit. And then I was like, okay, I fucking hate your character.
Yeah.
But I thought that was all to the testament of how he played his character.
Fair enough.
Because I don't think I've ever seen him play this kind of character before.
Yeah.
And what is the actress that played his wife? Cleopatra Coleman. She was definitely gorgeous.
No doubt.
But was not really in the movie.
Yeah.
I thought all the other supporting actors and actresses, I thought they did fine for what they needed to do. But the main part was, I thought this was a crazy idea for a story to go to this island, and I don't know how much I could say right now.
Sure.
That would be spoilers, so we'll just wait for that. But just the turn of events is not what I thought the movie was going to be from the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
Or the
I don't
reasoning
think it's
why.
what anybody could possibly imagine the movie might be if they haven't seen it. It
Yeah.
doesn't make any sense.
Fair enough.
Why
Yeah,
would you
fair
expect
enough.
any of that?
And you just kind of go on a wild ride throughout the movie after you find out what the purpose of. Well, I can say clones because they say it in the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
And after you get that part and figure out why it's happening, you go on this wild ride. And like I said, it's all carried by Mia Goth's performance in this. She is just fucking wacky and crazy. And even though I have a problem with the eyebrows, she is oddly sexy.
She's tearing it up. She's tearing it up out there right now.
There's a lot of psychedelic moments in this movie. If anybody hasn't seen the movie and they have a problem with fucking strobe lights and stuff like that, there's a lot of that in this movie.
Yeah.
The practicals, again, when there are practicals done, Brandon Cronenberg, I will give him his credit. He does handle his practicals really good. But Lance, I still can't say he's better than his father, because I feel like there's a lot of what his father does in his work. It's just a modern take of what his father did.
Understandable.
But with that being said, I thought this movie was creative, interesting, well acted, and I kind of see similarities to Possessor with some of the characters in this. Yeah. So
that's a good point.
And pass it off to Lance.
Yeah.
So it's very ironic that the same exact week that I saw this movie, I also saw a film called Triangle of Sadness. Have you guys heard of this one?
Is it an Oscar movie?
It actually is. It actually is. It's for Best Picture, and I think it's also nominated for Best Screenplay.
There's only one Best Picture, and that's Everything Everywhere All at Once.
I couldn't agree more.
Or Top Gun.
Although I do think that the Banshees of Inisherin might win Best Director, but we'll see how that goes down.
I want to see that. That's on HBO Max now.
It is. Yeah. So Triangle of Sadness, what happens is basically Woody Harrelson is the only person you would recognize in it, because I think it's mostly a Norwegian film, but without giving too much away on it, to spoil that movie, basically you've got a luxury yacht, like a $2.5 million yacht that people are out, riding around on. So you've got it's a class struggle type thing, right? So you've got the people that are on the yacht on the first level, and then the level under that, you've got the servers, the people who make tips and get to kind of hang out with them and serve them their food. And then underneath that, you've got like the engineers, the people who have to keep the ship running, the people who have to, keep the fuel going and all that. And then on the very bottom level, you've got the cleaners, people that have to go through and clean up after everybody else. So anyway, Somalia pirates take over the ship. The ship ends up, people end up floating out on little life rafts on an island. And the entire thing, it all shifts. Because now all of a sudden the people that are the masters and in charge are the ones who have actual life skills, because they've had to be forced to develop them because they didn't have everything handed to them on a silver platter. So I saw a lot of that in this film, where basically if you've got the money, you can get away with pretty much anything. And it was really interesting the way that they did. You were talking about the psychedelic special effects. Brian, to me, that was really retro. I thought that one scene where, the guy was becoming the clone. Without giving too much away, geez, how do I not give too much away? Just it kind of reminded me like in 1960s, like that show The Prisoner that we did the retrospective. I got a lot of The Prisoner out of it. I got a lot of, like old 60s and 70s psychedelia type stuff. And then when you get to the question later about who really is the person and does it even matter, I really like that concept. Not to go too much into that yet, but yeah, I enjoyed it. And yeah, you're Brian. Everything Brian said was right. Skarsgård always plays shit. He played the Dark Man in the Stephen King miniseries for The Stand. This guy is like super confident. He's not usually completely. I'll use the word again, emasculated. Having to kowtow.
He just got done playing the Northman.
Yeah, no shit. I mean, this guy's like alpha to the extreme, but not in this role, which was very interesting. And yeah, the some of the twists and turns that this movie took, I wasn't expecting. One scene in particular, we'll get into spoilers when we talk about that. I enjoyed it quite a bit. Did I enjoy it quite as much as Possessor? Maybe not quite as much, but I'm still on the Brandon Cronenberg bandwagon at this point.
Oh, we know you are.
I actually enjoyed this quite a bit more than Possessor, I think.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely got it. He's just a unique person, man. He comes up with some crazy fucking ideas. And for him to write and direct these movies, I mean, I got to give him some props on that. Is he as good as his father yet? No. But maybe eventually. I think he's on the right path. This was still a very art house, psychedelic take on everything. And but I think that what he had to say in the background and even the things that happened, it was so unique and different that I really enjoyed it for that.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. This technology, do you guys think it was more far-fetched than Possessor? Or do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah. It seemed like they went quite a bit further out on this one, right?
Well, except guess how many cloned cows you've eaten?
Ah. Okay.
A fucking lot. Bet you didn't realize that. Google
Had no idea.
So I mean, the cloning thing is there. They just haven't.
I mean, but to the extent of these clones, I don't think we're there.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
At least I don't know.
Make a full-grown clone the same age instantly like that. Yeah.
Well, that's true.
That's a bit of a stretch.
But then it does raise a cool question of, did he? Because that was my original thought. I was like, okay, well, which one died? Is it the clone or is it him?
I know it's hard not to talk about that, isn't it?
Sorry.
Like somebody says in the movie, does it really matter?
Does it really matter? Yep.
Or does it? Maybe the clone's a little genetic off. Anyway, we'll get into that as spoiler.
Kind of like in Star Trek, right? Using the transporter.
Yeah,
because it basically fries all your atoms and then puts them back together again somewhere else. So, is that really you?
I do have some questions, but I'll wait until spoilers to get into those. Okay. Scores, Brian?
I didn't like it as much as Possessor, but I really did enjoy it. And right now, I think this is a movie definitely needs to be rewatched. So now I'm sitting at a 7.5.
Nice.
Lance?
I'm gonna stick. I am gonna stick with 8 on 10. And so much of it is Mia Goth, quite frankly. And the way she
killed it.
She was acting when she had that wine bottle and she was riding on the old school car.
Yeah, that was kind of awesome.
We can't say too much, but
do you have a bucket?
Jesus Christ,
she was throwing chicken wings at him.
Oh my God! All the actors.
James.
I did get a little tired of hearing that.
Yeah, but it kind of added to it. So I'll go 8 on 10. It possible top 10 for the year.
Yeah, maybe the big difference between this and Possessor is cast because Mia Goth and Alexander Skarsgård
Sure.
are kind of two of my favorites right now. They've both been really
Wow, that's saying a lot.
Yeah. Mia Goth has been awesome in everything that she's done.
Yeah.
She is definitely on a historic rocket launch up. So we'll see what she does in the future.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
They're really
her and
really
Wednesday.
hyping up. They're really hyping Maxine up.
Yeah. Well, they probably should be. I'm sure it's going to be a great. Is that going to come out this year or next?
Oh, that's the other one from X and Pearl.
Yeah, that's the one set after X.
I gotcha.
In the 80s, and I think she, from what I understand, she had more of a input on the character.
Okay,
that makes sense. I mean, she's
next. We're gonna see her direct. We're gonna see her directing a movie next.
Probably,
just flat out.
That's
there's
probably
no doubt.
the end of her trajectory is directing some really cool stuff in the future.
She's gonna
10 years from now, but
she's gonna put her wacky husband in there.
Who's her husband?
Shia.
Is he?
Wait, really?
I believe so.
That makes more sense now.
Oh shit!
Let me see. Maybe hold on. Maybe I made that Shia LaBeouf. 20. Yeah, they're still together and they have a kid.
All right, there you have it. Sean, did you know? Did you have any idea?
No, I had no clue.
I knew they were together when they did that movie. What was Lance? What was that? Near Lars von Trier, Nymphomaniac.
I fucking hate Lars von Trier, dude.
when
every fucking movie he's ever made, I hate.
They met when they did that movie.
Okay, that makes sense.
Well, that's maybe why she's got a little crazy in her.
Yeah, well, a lot of crazy.
Yeah,
it's crazy. She wasn't even trying to be an actress.
Yeah,
because originally she was a model, and then I guess somebody was like, "Hey, you should try this out." And she was like, "Well, I don't know," and look where she is now.
I like her better as a model than an actress. I mean, she's pretty, and I think that she really pulled it off. But she pulls off this like oddball, no eyebrows look with this like walking out knowing that she's sexy thing.
Sure,
kind of cool, you know?
Yep.
Anyway, and so she put it over the top for me. And I'm gonna give this one a 7.5 also.
Damn!
Yeah.
Wow, Sean, you missed out, brother.
Yeah, no kidding. Fuck.
And maybe I just wasn't in the right mindset for Possessor when I tried to watch it this time. I was just like, oh, I don't want this right now.
probably should have gotten green, Philip.
Maybe. Or watched it in the middle of the night when everybody else was sleeping.
Right.
Nobody's fucking with me. But yeah. This one was better. I thought it had probably more to say, and it was a more interesting concept to me. All right, let's do spoilers.
All right, Sean, you cool for spoilers?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, just making sure. When we get to the reveal of what they do with these clones, basically, if you get arrested on this island for murder, it's punishable by death by the firstborn of the person you murdered. But if you're wealthy enough, you can have a clone made and they'll execute that clone. But you have to sit there and watch the execution. So you have to watch yourself be executed.
So does the person that's doing the execution know that
that's
the
what
person
I was
that actually did it?
Well, the person's sitting up there watching, so right?
I would assume so because they're sitting the real person, well, allegedly the real person, and whoever's with them is sitting on some big ass bleachers in the back right there. So
and Brian, that exact point leads me to believe that maybe it is the real person that they're executing.
Well, see, that's the thing, though. It's hard to tell because these clones are your clone in every way. They maintain your memories up to the point that you were cloned. So there's a scene where you're thinking, because he meets a group of people after that, and they're a bunch of rich assholes, and this is what they do. They go out and fuck with people and commit crimes.
And
because
killed.
I know if they
a lot of
get
Clockwork Orange, a lot of Clockwork Orange vibes in that. Didn't you see that, Brian?
Yeah, because they know if they get arrested, they got the money to just clone themselves and have their clones executed. But there's a scene where you think it's not going correctly. The police are like, "Oh no, we're executing you this time."
That was my favorite scene of the movie.
But it's really the clones that are being executed.
Or
the clones
is it?
think they're the
Or
real
is it?
person. Well, see, that's the thing. You don't know. And I
kept
thought
looking
that
for
was
the gunshot in the leg of that one guy.
Oh,
But
yeah.
they never really gave you anything on that.
Yeah, what was with the gunshot? Because 2 different characters got shot in the leg in the same exact spot.
Yeah.
Both had to walk on canes. I'm sure there's something to that we're not picking up, right?
I kind of took it, at least for the one guy, that he got shot in the leg so that we knew that he was the actual real person throughout the movie.
Allegedly, but why wouldn't they shoot the clone
to
in the
help
leg?
differentiate?
Well, I don't know why would they shoot the clone every time.
I don't know. It's an interesting concept, man.
It's not really justice. I mean, because the point of the death penalty is not to exact revenge. It's to make sure that person doesn't hurt anybody else again. And if you just fucking leave them out there and you're getting revenge on a meat puppet, that doesn't.
It's kind of speaking on the justice system as it currently stands. If you have enough money, the CJ system is, throw enough money, you'll essentially get out of what.
I was just about to say that, Sean, because who's really benefiting here? It's not the people that live in this country because they're getting murdered by these tourists.
Yeah.
Right.
It's the government that's collecting all this. Hey, if you got enough money, hey, we'll just clone somebody and kill the clone, and then you can go back to doing what you're doing.
Do whatever, as long as you give us the money.
And I think I also think it was very much by design that they made it a fictitious country, a fictitious island, right? So you can't really say, well, this is the Middle East or Ukraine or Russia.
They don't want to tell you where the clones
South
are coming
America.
From. And I saw a lot of similarities to the first one with the main character because after he gets introduced to this group, he claims that he's lost his passport. He can't go back home with the wife.
That's right.
Because I think he's fallen in love with this idea of this lifestyle.
Yeah.
To the point that when we get to the end and it's time to go home, we got that scene that he leaves the airport. He's sitting on the beach in the rain because I felt like he just couldn't go back to that life anymore.
Right.
Even though he's not really the one paying for this because he married into money.
Right.
So I don't know if that lifestyle is going to be good for him.
How sustainable is that going to be? This one would have a weird sequel for sure, wouldn't it?
Yeah. And that may have been part of the emasculated thing.
Right.
I mean, maybe that just sort of leads into that same thing that you were talking, which I hadn't even thought about it until you said something, Lance. But yeah, I mean, if he married into money and he's not really doing anything right now and he's sort of struggling to find his career.
Yep.
Well, I didn't take it as he was struggling. I kind of took it as he wasn't really.
He was just gliding.
Yeah. He wrote one book, which you come to find out later in the movie was a piece of shit.
Even she didn't even really read it.
And he's just been doing nothing for 6 years.
Yeah,
so he's a trophy husband
trophy husband.
Yeah, whose wife.
But he kind of Sean. He kind of seemed like an asshole too, because when you get introduced to him, she's like, heard of this part of the island you can go to and you can have dinner. It's like an all inclusive kind of trip. Like
like a Sam's or some shit.
He's just kind of like, nah.
Yeah, she wanted to go to the Chinese restaurant, but then as soon as Mia Goth and her group said, let's go to the Chinese restaurant, they're there. He's like, okay, cool. So, yeah, he was a real asshole, wasn't he? He didn't treat her very well either, that's for sure.
Well, she also jerked him off, so.
Yeah, well, there is that.
Mia Goth's not his wife.
Yeah.
He didn't struggle too hard to tell her no.
No, right? No.
Because
never crossed his lips.
The scene is basically they go to the beach after they eat, and he walks off to go take a piss, and then she just walks up behind him, and he's just kind of like, I'm almost done, and then she just jerks him off, and he's like, like he can't believe what she's doing, but at no point is he like trying to stop anything that's going on.
Well.
Well,
no comment on
Sean.
that.
Hey, Sean, do you have any questions for us, Sean, about what was in the movie? Or
it sounds interesting. I do want to see it. I think the premise definitely does sound really fascinating, and it's like the whole relation to the CJ system and everything. So I can't think of any questions offhand.
I have a question for you guys.
Yes.
The scene where, well, it's not a scene. It kind of goes throughout the middle part of the movie where it kind of seems like they're doing kind of a ritualistic initiation to their group. Was it really? Were they really kind of bringing him into the group, or were they just fucking with him throughout the movie?
I don't know.
Part of their enjoyment.
It seemed like they were fucking with him, because remember they had the clone doing the drugs later when they called the clone the dog.
Yeah, it all depends on whether he was the clone or the actual person. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like it could just be some rando that they decided to play with.
So it's really hard to kind of see, to differentiate if it's a clone or if it's not throughout the movie.
It's
sort of the question.
Yeah.
Like if they cloned you, Sean, that clone would remember everything up to that moment it was created.
Wow.
Because even one of the clones is getting executed, he's calling for his wife. He doesn't understand why he's being executed.
Yeah.
It's a trip. It's definitely a trip.
And then so I guess that was most of my questions. Was it always the real person, or was it the clone at some point?
Well, it's an infinity pool, man.
Yeah,
going forever and ever and ever and ever and ever.
Who ended up going home? Because at the end of the trip where they went on this fucking let's murder people and have orgies.
Well, it seems like this is what they do every year.
Yeah, this is their vacation.
Which was kind of crazy, because that bus ride to the airport, they're talking about, we got to paint the bathroom.
Right.
Like it's nothing to them. And he's just,
I'm going to rearrange the furniture.
Yeah, he's sitting at the back of the bus, just a broken man, thinking about he has to go home now. And which kind of, I don't know. And the only time I thought maybe it wasn't the real clone is the scene where they brought out the other clone that was on a leash.
Yeah. Right.
I thought maybe that was the real him, and he was just so far gone off the drugs they were giving him.
I honestly thought that too, man.
Because they right before they tell him you got to kill this version of you, the dog version, they have him inhale the smoke again.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, is that
I know that, and I think there's no easy answer to that question, guys.
Well, unless it was some just fucking around Channing Tatum style and on a lot of drugs, there's no drugs that could make me just get on a leash and be like, yeah, I'm gonna do what you tell me to do.
Yeah.
Why did you not just stab her in the face?
Must have been some good drugs, right?
I guess.
Well, yeah, he was having the mannerisms of a dog, and
you know what?
So I don't know how long they've been keeping this guy doing this to him.
Okay,
that's why I asked if they were just fucking with him, or because she said that scene where you brought up where she was drinking the wine, sitting on the hood of the car, they were walking and doing the walk of shame down the road, and she was throwing chicken wings at him.
Yep.
And she said, we thought we would have to get you into trouble, but you got yourself into trouble in the first place.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I had a big question in that one scene where where we think was the first time he ever, smoked the drugs. Mm-hmm. And then he was like, he smelled it, and you could tell nothing changed on his face. Like he wasn't feeling it. And then he looked at her and he said, how long does this stuff take to affect you? And then all of a sudden he was just kind of like out there, because she started like rubbing on him and stuff. So were they even really giving him drugs?
I don't know.
Or were they just burning like wood? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of questions in this movie.
Yeah, and then there's the other thing about she kept calling him a baby, and then the whole breastfeeding thing.
And the breastfeeding, sure.
Yeah,
I can always spot a baby.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, Sean,
Dude, you gotta see this
I don't want
movie,
to. I don't want to say no more. I felt like I said
it's
too
okay.
much.
I mean, no, I'm genuinely fascinated by the sounds of it. I do want to watch it.
He gets breastfed in the movie.
Yeah, at the end when he's like completely broken, he curls up in the fetal position and sucks out the titty. Which, I mean,
holy fuck!
I mean, but still.
Well,
Yeah.
And then there was the one nipple that like extended out.
Yeah, that was during the drug psychedelic.
Yeah, I was wondering about that.
And what was with all the masks, right? And what was with all the little the blue and the red ink that everyone that lived on the island had on them?
I don't know.
See?
I felt like there's more to this movie.
Bizarre.
I missed that part. Yeah.
Yeah, this is worth watching again.
Yeah.
All right, you guys ready to call it a night?
Yeah. Yep. We need some explanations for this shit.
Maybe
tell
this
us
is
in the comments.
This probably wouldn't be a bad movie for us to maybe even do a commentary on down the road. You know?
Hell yeah.
So yeah, food for thought.
Holy shit! There's a boob.
Yep. All right, dude. Well, Sean, thanks again for joining, man. We appreciate you coming on board. And as for everyone else listening, as always, we want to thank you guys for listening to another episode of The Horror Returns. We would love to hear your feedback and ideas. You can reach us at thehorrorreturns@gmail.com. You can find us at www.thehorrorreturns.com. Please consider becoming a Patreon patron. We do tend to exaggerate how quickly we're going to get gifts out. Sean, as you know.
No, you got them, Jimmy.
I'm literally sitting here with a box of fucking koozies that I've got to get rid of.
Hey, that's okay.
I have some.
But I got to get down to the post office.
We do exaggerate because I thought my wife had mailed those Blu-rays off last year.
I
found them sitting in a box in the back of the truck.
Oh,
they
holy
will be
shit!
sent out this year.
We're just dudes, guys. Sorry.
All right.
I will personally go to the post office myself.
Shit happens.
Okay. Next week we will be joined by the doctor himself.
Really?
No, not Doctor Who, not Matt Smith. We'll be joined by Matt Wood from eternal darkness of not so spotless minds.
Like you said, Lance, we don't know he's not the doctor.
True. And what movies are we covering next week, Brian?
The new M. Night Shyamalan Knock at the Cabin, as well as
Ding dong.
fan favorite Cabin in the Woods.
Oh man, that'll be a fun one. Funnest Cabin in the Woods this side of the Evil Dead, Sean.
I was just
I love that movie.
I was just showing. She's never seen it before. I was just showing my wife the preview of this earlier today. I had no idea that we were watching it next week. So
cool.
Sweet. About making her watch it.
Nice. I read the book a couple of months back, so we'll see how close it is. But Brian, until the horror returns again.
Good night.
All right. It's a good one.